Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl 26. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl. Chapter 26. Roar. Knock knock knock. Hiss. Under the night, Snake Pool, which was originally full of wet cold and dead silence, heard the sound of a fierce battle. Corrosive sulfur liquid. Hearing Shu Chu's order, the young Yan dragon lizard took another bite towards the sky. Then it hit accurately in the water snake that piled up behind the skeleton wolf battle line. And Shu Chu, with his left hand, condensed a magician, and with his right hand, he mutated a newly resurrected skeleton wolf into explosive wolf. Go! Immediately, the magician and fire wolf rushed into battle at the same time. Blast the enemy's already ruined front even more to pieces. Obviously, whether it is quantity or quality, Water Snake is more and stronger than Shu Chu's summoned beasts. But under the changeable tactics of Shu Chu and fighting while retreating, it is always the water snakes who are seriously injured. Tons and tons. After drying another bottle of magic recovery potion medium obtained for free from other guilds, Shu Chu couldn't help but burp. This amount of reply is much worse than the big bottle. In the current battle that consumes blue extremely fast, Shu Chu couldn't drink any more. After all, now, the summoning card has one more young Yan dragon lizard. Double the mana required to maintain the summoned beast. The natural amount of magic recovery is a little insufficient. When I return to the novice village, I have to buy more large magic recovery potion. It's still big good. However, the battle came and went quickly. Because the enemy is chasing Salamander to fight, so all the monsters were pulled and numbed by Shu Chu. The magician's slowdown is not a waste. In a short time, Shu Chu had already obtained a huge amount of monster materials. Naturally, there are also open black lens bracket ding. It was detected that the material snake gall contained essence retarded mucus. Opening square bracket. Lag mucus. Quality. White normal. Effect. Attack reduces the enemy's movement speed. Open black lens bracket ding. Detected material snake gall contains essence. Snake venom. Snake venom. Quality. White normal. Effect. When dealing damage to the enemy, an additional poisoning effect lasting 5 seconds is added, and the poisoning damage is direct damage x 10%. Open black lens bracket ding. The retarded mucus essence is a great match for the young flame dragon lizard card. Open black lens bracket ding. Snake venom essence is a perfect match for skeleton wolf pack cards. What else is there to hesitate about? Extract. The snake bile in Shu Chu's backpack instantly turned into powder and disappeared. Next moment, the fangs and claws of all skeleton wolves are coated with a poisonous black film. The parotid glands of all larva dragon lizards secrete mucus with neurotoxins. The next battle was even more one-sided. Even Shu Chu's legion didn't need to fight and retreat. Straight to the top. This gives the snake a dry cover. Why does a wolf have snake venom? And more poisonous than their poison. But they're not snakes and wolves. Snake venom cannot be stacked and takes 5 seconds to pull the damage full. Therefore, Shu Chu's order to the summoned beasts was much simpler. Now it's an advantageous battle, and there are a lot of skeleton wolves, so we'll change the target at once and hit the maximum damage. In a short time, the water snake is completely destroyed. After Shu Chu slowly used Priestess to return blood to all the members, he walked to the deepest part of Snake Pool. Open black lens bracket ding. You disturbed the sleeping boss water dragon snake. It's angry now. As a system prompt sounds, a long snake roar came from the snake pool. Boss, here. The next moment, a black giant python that was 10 meters long and the thickness of a round stool slowly crawled out of the snake pool. It is somewhat different from ordinary water snakes. This huge black snake has derived fins on both sides of its neck. It stretches and contracts with breathing, which looks terrifying. Hiss. Water dragon snake. Introduction. The king of the water snake and Yanlong lizard are feuds, and he was seriously injured after fighting with him, and his attributes were greatly reduced. Level 10. Black iron boss. Attack 500. Injured life 40,000 injured. Skills. Drill at sea, cold poison, molt spawning. Update. 12 hours refresh 12 hours after death. Dash. Drill at seam. Description. Can't get in. You can't get in no matter how you think about it. Effects. Critical strike chance increase, critical damage increase. Dash. Cold poison. Description. No, I'm afraid, I'm cold, aha. Effect. When an enemy takes damage, the movement speed is reduced and the attack speed is reduced. Molting. Description. I have just molted, don't. Effect. When taking fatal damage, restore 10% of the maximum health, but with the addition of the sensitive effect, the damage is increased by 10%. Dash. Spawning. Description. Snake I like to lay eggs the most. Effect. For every 5% decrease in health, lay eggs and summon one water snake to help fight. Snake eggs can be broken. Familiar attributes, worthy of the water snake. Shu condensed a fool and prepared to fight. It's almost dawn, you hurry up and die. Looking at the snake head with his upper body held high, which was 3 meters tall, Shu did not pretend. Move your mouth. The next moment, the skeleton wolf rushed towards the water dragon snake, and the young flame dragon lizard also opened their mouths and spit their own flame liquid towards the water dragon snake. Boom. The skeleton wolves went up and stabbed unreasonably. -122. -125. -128. With just one round of attacks, he killed 5% of water dragon snake's health. Unity is really killing the boss god buff. Hiss. This injury woke up the water dragon snake at once. This group of skeleton wolves is too strong, right? Of course, the boss will not sit still. So just twist it. Behind the tail is a giant egg that is 1 meter tall. Snake. Egg introduction. After 30s, a level 5 water snake hatches. Beat his egg, beat his egg. Beat him and win. Attack. 0. Defense. 50 life, 5,000. Trouble visible to the naked eye. Immediately, Shu divided some troops and asked them to be responsible for defusing the bomb. He continues to kill snakes with most of the remaining summons. Roar. The young Yan dragon lizard let out a roar and raised their strength to the sky. Tui, 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 tui. Quote. -300, -300, -300, -300. Shu was pleasantly surprised. The damage caused by the young Yan dragon lizard to water dragon snake has doubled after breaking the defense. This is hate. With a slight smile, Shu was extremely satisfied with this situation. It is equivalent to 4 juvenile dragon lizards as 8. Thanks to the good damage of Shu summons, the snake egg was quickly shattered. And under Shu control. As soon as the snake egg was broken, water dragon snake's health was reduced to 90%. Shish immediately laid another egg. Shu is familiar with the road and continues to defuse the bomb. If you let other players see this scene, their eyes will pop out. The setting of this water dragon snake is not for people to brush alone. Being able to lay eggs is to disperse the player's troops. As a result, Shu actually controlled the rhythm of damage. Relying on your own summons, you can play with the boss that can be called the strongest in the novice village. Elegance, so elegant, and after Shu mastered the rhythm of the battle, he cut the health of water dragon snake. It was like playing. 34,120 40,000, 85.3%. 27,551 40,000, 68.8%. 19,852 40,000, 49.6%. 8,923 40,000, 22.3%. Hiss. Soon, after Shu paid the price of 6 skeleton wolves and 5 young dragon lizards, the water dragon snake health was cleared to 0. Don't ask why there are only 4 juvenile dragon lizards and why 5 died. Because with the dragon lizard died twice. Snap. The water dragon snake fell in the pool and splashed a huge splash. But when the pool soaked its body surface wet, the water dragon snake suddenly surged again. Yikes. Soon, water dragon snake, a twist. Peel off a layer of skin. 10% health instantly restored. And yet, in the face of Shu already transcendent summoning beast army. Still not enough to see. Shish. This time, it no longer has the power to rise. And Shu was bathed in the morning sunshine. Open black lens bracket ding. Fate announcement. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations to Traveler Anonymous for being the first player to kill the regional boss. Water Dragon Serpent bonus XP plus 30,000, credits plus 30, Church of Light reputation plus 300. Open black lens bracket. Ding. When the regional boss dies for the first time, Yanwang's water snake combat power decreases by 10%, and number 11,451's water snake combat power decreases by 20%. In just one night, Shu-Chu killed a whole 3 bosses. Gave Fate a small Yanwang shock. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl 27. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl. Chapter 27. Not. Am I right? Again. Announcement again. I didn't even kill the gray wolf. Why did the big guys kill all 3 bosses? Thanks to Fate, I once again felt the gap between me and the big guy. This is the big guy's guild bull batch, right? At this stage, without a group of well-equipped and well-commanded teammates, it is impossible to beat the boss. That said, is it possible that 3 anonymous players are 3? So, is there a guild that wants me? I'll ask later if not. Quote. Quote. Countless esports people woke up in the morning and saw all kinds of shocking news. The miracle of 4 announcements in one night. Quote. Real esports. Straight to the lips. Yanwang is pendant. Open double angle bracket. Not the same name. The ancient martial arts family admitted that Supreme Game Pod has been pre-selected by the family owner Lin Zian bound. 9 Supreme Game Pod winners of the Earth Federation have been confirmed for. Open double angle bracket. Shock. Yanwang has a second hidden, Supreme Cabin player. Quote. Yanwang the starting point of the rise of esports fate. Daily into gold. Blood Wolf Guild, a certain battle group returns to the book in one day. Open double angle bracket Magic Lettuce Catalog Raiders, the minimum configuration for 3 to kill Grey Wolf. Open double angle bracket, anonymous players or hidden professions, undead summoners. This news is dominant. It also attracts countless ordinary people outside the gaming circle. Playing games without spending money, can you still earn money? Our Yanwang monsters are simpler than monsters from other countries. I got a helmet yesterday, try it tonight. It's almost like hitting a monster. It's $2, it's kind of interesting, just work part-time. Quote. Quote. Under the publicity of the announcement. On this day, the players of Fate reached a new high. And the person who created this miracle looked at the system prompt in front of him with some sluggishness. Ding. You have been playing for 12 hours continuously, it is recommended to take a break in activity offline. Open black lens bracket hint. You in the game, no matter how powerful you are, it is false. Yes, it's really time to rest. Wait a minute. Shu-Chu suddenly thought of something, and hurriedly looked at his actual physical condition. Shish. Sure enough, after entering the game by himself, he lay flat all night without turning over. In the summer, don't say that you have to cover the rash on your back. I'm afraid that if I don't move, I will press out the corpse spots. Immediately, after Shu-Chu cleaned up a large pile of things on the ground. Run directly towards the novice village. When players are offline, it is best to find a safe zone to go offline. Otherwise, the next time you go online, you will have a chance to encounter enemies such as wild monsters, enemies, and color demons. When boys are away from home, be sure to protect themselves. Running back to the novice village, Shu-Chu was at ease offline. As soon as he got off the line, Shu-Chu felt like he was being wheeled by someone. It's like a fight in turns. Muscle stiffness, soreness, numbness, cramps. Shu-Chu knew that this was a forced restart function of his body. Otherwise, the blood is not smooth, and it will really be necrosis. I almost forgot that non-game pod players can't be online for too long without the support of massage tables and nutrient solutions. Although he has a Ouroboros ring, he is also a complete, non-game cabin player. Pain point, normal. Shu-Chu looked at the white and yellowing ceiling, and thought with a painful face. Certainly, I want to buy a civilian game pod, at least not next time. Well, just. When Shu-Chu endured the pain and thought about what game cabin to buy, a warm current suddenly came from the right hand. The warm current instantly spreads throughout the body. Everywhere I went, there were no more symptoms of discomfort in my body. Ah, cool. Shu Chu got up from the bed, clenched his fists, and was not numb. Okay, and this warm current is not too fast to break the car. After Shu Chu's body recovered, the warm current quietly disappeared, as if nothing had happened just now. Wonderful hand rejuvenation, Dr. Jia. However, this warm current doesn't seem to just restore his body. Shu Chu moved his neck, waist, and wrists. I found that it didn't rattle. Even, full of energy. It's full of energy. In his previous life, he wrote novels. A bottle of Coke, a pack of cigarettes, 2,000 words for typing a day. The body is incomparably poor. Later, I played Fate. Smoking addiction quit, internet addiction came up. But, I remember that my body didn't get better until the game invaded reality and everyone was able to bring out some of their attributes. Shu Chu Sheng wondered. But right now, a blue translucent panel that made Shu Chu's extreme attributes suddenly appeared in front of Shu Chu's eyes. Nickname: Dusk. Talent: none. Occupation: none. Attribute 1. Strength 15, Agility 25, Physique 35, Intelligence 60, 30 free attributes can be assigned. P.S. Normal people peak is 5. Closing parenthesis opening square bracket. Attribute 2. Attack 15, 66, Physics Magic, Defense 17, Life 350, Magic 600. Card: none. Skill: none. This, isn't it an attribute in my destiny? How did it all come out? Shu Chu couldn't help but gasp, and immediately looked at the ring in his hand. Really, those who have the Ring of Destiny can bring out the attributes in the game in advance. Quote, you know, players can bring out attributes, it is New Year's Day half a year later. From then on, players can bring out attributes little by little, as well as data such as props and equipment. But before that, the Chinese New Year's Eve day of the crossing. The monsters and destiny will appear in reality first. Plus human technological products are directly scrapped. The entire Earth Alliance will fall into a state of disorder for a long time. At that time, everything in reality will be redistributed. This is the biggest New Year's gift in human history. And yet, I actually brought out the attribute half a year in advance. Even with the weakest strength, I am already 3 times as good as ordinary people. Not to mention, after killing the boss, the bonus experience allows you to level up 2 levels in a row. Today, he still has 30 unassigned attributes. Now, I'm Superman. Immediately, Shu Chu was ready to roll over into bed and continue to play the game. With the Ouroboros ring there, my body doesn't need to move. This is not directly brushed fate. Boom. But at this moment, there was a muffled noise on the wooden door of his rental house. It seemed that something had bumped outside the door. What? Shu Chu walked to the door of the room, pulled the door, and found that the door was blocked and could not get out. Several workers are struggling to carry a civilian game pod. After all, I live in a shared house, and the living room has a partition. The corridor is very narrow, not to mention how hard it is to carry things. Not good. Meaning, just in front of Shu Chu, a short-haired boy who was not tall, wearing large gray half-sleeved shorts, was also struggling to carry the corner of the game cabin. He seemed to be startled by opening the door, and quickly turned his head to apologize to Shu Chu, and did not dare to move, and continued to help the master carry it in. With thin arms and legs, he pulled on his large slippers and moved them little by little. Seeing the appearance, Shu Chu remembered. This is the neighbor in his shared house. But I hardly met. It's okay, Shu Chu responded casually. Obediently, as soon as he mentioned the monster in the room, the door rang. Shu Chu thought that the monster had also appeared. As a result, at this time, when the boy adjusted his position, he suddenly stepped on his slippers. An imbalance, grazed the wall and fell. Ouch. 3 masters have a hard time carrying Ben. This one, hundreds of pounds of game cabin, pressed directly in the direction of the boy. The masters can't catch it if they want to. Woo. He had already slipped to the ground, and he only had time to close his eyes. Covering his face with his elbows, he let out a frightened whimper. For a while, he thought about how painful it would be if he was to be crushed and his legs were broken. Grit your teeth and get ready to bear it. And yet, the imagined sharp pain did not come. Stop lying down, mop the floor. This voice, is it the tenant who just opened the door? She squinted and blinked and peeked quietly. She saw a hand on the corner of the game cabin she had just carried. One hand lifted. It's not super heavy. Although he was surprised, his body did not freeze. He quickly climbed out of the gap where that hand was lifted, no matter how dirty the floor of the hallway that no one cleaned was. Nonsense. The legs are almost gone. Is it dirty or not? Thank you. Chu glanced at the weak pseudonym, who had just crawled out and was gray and dirty without responding. This is the real dog. Let's rest. Master, you go over and carry the two of them forward, and I will do it alone here. The worker on the side, after watching Chu take the game cabin from his hand, still spoke without blushing and breathless, and he was stunned. I wipe this young man. Then with the slit that the pseudonym had just drilled, she went to the front. With Chu's help, the game cabin was easily moved to the scholar's room. Several masters also began to wire. However, this scholar's room was unexpected to Chu. Light blue household items tone, clean and tidy, small and fresh. It's refreshing to look at. But Chu frowned slightly. Just because. The room is clean and smellless, not only the lady buttress. Hiss. Chu subconsciously retreated. That pseudonym is indeed fine skin and tender meat, and the old critics on the internet are really good at this mouthful. Just at this moment, the pseudonym came over, holding several bottles of water in her flat arms. In the delicate and beautiful face of the smear, with a sincere smile, he thanked and handed one of the bottles to Chu. Big brother, drink water. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl 28. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl. Chapter 28. It's still a good game. Chu went online again, looking at the novice village outside the window, and sincerely felt a sense of security. When he went offline just now, Chu casually found a nearby hotel and then went offline. The inn, fate, is not a decoration. After a break in the inn for a while, players will receive buffs. Note, it's a break. Staying up late in a hotel is not counting. The buff you get can be selected. Energetic. Level 1. Effect. Magic recovery efficiency plus 50%. Time. 5 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds timer from leaving the hotel. This is the buff that Chu chose and is most suitable for the profession of summoner. Most of the guilds have their own territory in the main city. Priority will be given to charter hotels as your own rallying ground to provide guild member battle buff status. But this can cost a lot of money. There was no one around at this time. Chu also had a rare time to inventory his own rich rewards after killing that water dragon snake. But Chu didn't take out that water dragon snake drop first. Instead, he first took out a white translucent skin. Water dragon snake molting. This is the skin that has been peeled when the opponent uses that molting skill when fighting water dragon snake. Open black lens bracket ding. The material water dragon snake molt contains essence scale skin. Ding. Scale essence has a high degree of compatibility with the card juvenile dragon lizard and it is recommended to fuse the mutation. Opening square bracket. Scales. Introduction. A layer of scale skin wrapped around the body of a weak snake with a certain degree of elasticity. Quality. Green excellent. Effect. After 10 seconds without receiving damage, you get a scaly shield with a maximum health of X 20%. Good essence. Chu directly glanced at him for 10,000 years. As the ADC, that young Yan dragon lizard lack the most is the ability to survive. Only if you are alive can you have a chance to export. In the early hours of the morning when fighting the water snake swarm. The juvenile dragon lizard hitting the water snake is double the damage, why not when the water snakes fight back? This caused that young Yan dragon lizards to suffer extremely heavy casualties. Resurrecting them costs a lot of your magic. But now, with this layer of scales the survival ability of the young Yan dragon lizard will be greatly guaranteed. Chu twisted his fingers and directly fused the cards depicting the translucent snake scale pattern into the young Yan dragon lizard. Subsequently, the body surface color of all juvenile dragon lizards was no longer bright orange-red. Instead, a layer of gray skin was added, which looked like a layer of frosted glass. Attributes have also changed slightly. Health, 1659, 331. With this shield, the young dragon lizards also feel safe. A layer of skin wrapped around the scales, isn't this a bag? Ahem. Shoo. Chu stopped the dangerous topic and turned to look at the rare material dropped by. Water dragon snake itself, Han Jing. Killing water dragon snake this time was the happiest Shu Chu had ever killed. Because, when cold crystal drops, it triggers a 5x burst rate. In total, Shu Chu obtained 6 cold crystals. Look at the spars in your hand that are shining with blue light and blue gas. Shu Chu's mouth was crooked. Open black lens bracket ding. Material cold crystal contains essence. Snake venom green retarded mucus green spawn white dragon's bloodline thin snake venom green when dealing damage to an enemy. An additional poisoning effect lasting 5 seconds can be added to the 2 layers, and the poisoning damage is by 10% of direct damage. Retarded mucus green attacks reduce the enemy's movement speed and attack speed by 10% for 2 seconds. These 2 essences are extracted as soon as they are extracted. The essence on the bodies of skeleton wolf and young yan dragon lizard directly upgraded. The effect is stronger if the essence can still be upgraded. Shu Chu looked at the wolf clan elite and command aura on the skeleton wolf. If you can add 1 more skeleton wolf, or enhance the group buff effect, that combat effectiveness is directly doubled. Subsequently, Shu Chu looked at the most anticipated essence spawning. Shu Chu looked at the card with several eggs printed on it in his hand and looked at the young yan dragon lizard in front of him. And the young yan dragon lizard looked at the card in Shu Chu's hand, subconsciously moved back a few steps, and shook his head. Phew. Shu Chu grinned. Well, try it. Woo. The young yan dragon lizard refused even more violently. However, it is not the same. The next moment, the cards are successfully fused. The young dragon lizards hurried to check on themselves. Kun Kun is gone. Became a mother lizard herself. Roar. The 4 young dragon lizards let out a feeble mournful cry towards the sky. Ha, am I meant to be a mother? That's okay. And Shu Chu was full of interest to check the effect of spawning. Spawning when fighting, you can lay a lizard egg, hatch a small lizard to help fight, and the little lizard inherits the original skills and talents, which can cause 50% damage and bear 200% damage. Equivalent to, Shu Chu calculated slightly, there are 4 more doppelgangers to help fight. Well, the firepower is stronger. Finally, Shu Chu exchanged a cold crystal for a dragon bloodline thin card. This card looks a little strange. Among the cards without quality labels is a blue dragon made of water vapor. The closer you get to the center of the card, the stronger the color of the blue dragon and the more real the dragon head. But this blue dragon seems to be sleeping and only occupies the lower right half of the card position. This card, it seems to be only half of. As for the other half, don't think about it. It must be dragon bloodline of Yanlong lizard. Shu Chu put the unprinted card into his backpack. At this point, the harvest from the water dragon snake is almost the same. There is also a prop, which was also obtained by killing the water dragon snake, but it was not dropped. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations on successfully completing the mission Fire and Water Incompatible and obtaining the item Blood Melting Stone. This blood melting stone is like a petrified heart. Boom, boom, bang. Every once in a while, there is a twinkle of light. 1 red light, 1 blue light, looks very regular. Blood melting stone. Effect. Confuse blood veins to calm the gap and anger in it. If nothing else, it should be related to dragon bloodline again. Putting the stone into the backpack again, Shu Chu stretched. Today is also a day full of vitality. At this moment, the scenery outside the window changed. A beautiful woman dressed in a loose white robe full of holiness walks out of a luxurious hotel. Above her head, there is a striking name. White Bishop Catherine. Embroidered with a cyan, wind whirlwind, pattern of the church white robe, covering Catherine's figure, but from her beautiful face, it is not difficult to see that it is a large magnesium aluminum. Stature. Unimportant. Just have a mouth. Anyway, to receive the mission, you have to communicate with the NPC. Shu Chu saw this dress and was sure. It's the NPC that triggers the hidden mission. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl 29. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl. Chapter 29. Bishop Catherine, I believe in the Church of Light. Can you give me a task? Beauty, you see that my ID has been changed to Light Believer. It's not too much to give me a task, right? Sister sticker. Give a G will. Silent. It's so cold, I like it. This NPC looks like a priest. Plenty of milk. Quote, I have to say, this dress is really big. As soon as Catherine came out of the hotel, a group of players gathered around, wanting to get an unusual task. She dresses differently than the villagers. Put it in the novel, isn't it properly an NPC that distributes hidden missions? But they are shouting here with dry mouths and smoke in their throats. But that Catherine was still sitting on a white wooden bench, quietly basking in the sun. A semicircle centered on her with a white translucent spherical enchantment. Players can't get close. Let Catherine bask in the rising sun. Shu Chu stood behind the crowd, helpless in his heart. This is the sound insulation and protection enchantment when the church personnel are repairing, and people can't hear it at all. It seems that he has to find a way to take over the task. But at this moment, Catherine seemed to sense something and suddenly opened her eyes. The bright blue-purple eyes directly locked on Shu Chu. Wow, she's eye-opening. What a good look. Like a sapphire. Brothers, I'm up too early and out of spirit. Let's get off the line first, and have a cup of hand-brewed coffee to refresh my mind. Fate modeler plus chicken legs. This Catherine pure dance pure land of bliss on my XP. When everyone went crazy, I saw Catherine, who was sitting with her eyes open, standing up like this, and walking in a certain direction. Moving. Catherine moved. Did she sit for a long time and wanted to walk? Come here, come here. The beauty is coming towards me. Quote. How did I get squeezed away? You only have an AC number in your mind, right? Why are the white bishops of the Church of Light looking for you? So, in the eyes of all the people, after Catherine squeezed everyone away with the enchantment, she came to Shu Chu, bowed her head slightly, and made a fart-like voice in her mouth. Devout Light Believer, excuse me, can you do me a favor? As soon as these words came out, the voices of everyone present froze slightly. Then it exploded. Shish, what's going on with this Nima? Who is he? Why did my Catherine wife ask him for help? It hurts so much. Only Shu Chu, who was standing opposite her, smiled slightly, understanding what was going on. This is my Church of Light's camp. Prestige comes into play, having the prestige of a certain camp is equivalent to becoming a person in a certain camp. Shu Chu has a full 600 Church of Light prestige. Even ordinary Church of Light believers who have believed in the God of Light for decades may not be able to contribute so much prestige. And Shu Chu only took one night to reach this value. Thanks to the enthusiastic contributions of those bosses. Compared with other travelers, it is naturally Shu Chu, the own person, who is more convenient for Catherine to say unspeakable secrets. Traveler. Seeing that Shu Chu did not respond, Catherine reminded her. Shu Chu reacted this time and responded with a smile. Miss Catherine, but it's okay. Catherine bowed her head slightly and looked at the players around her. There are many people here, I hope only you know about this. As soon as these words came out, it was simply a lure. Nope, say what you have to my face. Don't be sneaky, I don't want to be a bitter lord. It hurts so much. X2, I smell a smell of adultery. Sister, can't you look for me? Although the man is handsome, but handsome can be cooked. Damn it, he really eats handsome. Quote. Shu Chu understood when he heard this, and straightened the handsome gentleman's suit. Miss Catherine's side please. Immediately, the two walked to a corner. Catherine clasped her hands into fists, closed her eyes slightly, and a familiar soundproof enchantment unfolded. This is a world of two. Here it goes. Those players who want to eavesdrop and follow after them have their teeth crushed. But I just can't get by, I can't hear anything. The traveler. The darkness is moving. Catherine lowered her hands and said, after the north mountain of this village, is the territory of the Dark Camp Columbarium Corridor. I heard that a priest of the Dark Order came to the Columbarium Corridor to sacrifice living beings, intending to expand the village into the territory of the Dark Faction, so he came here to purify evil. As a result, in the battle with the Dark Sacrifice, I was seriously injured by a sneak attack, and I had no choice but to recuperate in the village. Presumably she also hid in a canyon somewhere, absorbing the breath of life to recover from her injuries. Hearing the foregoing, Shuchu's eyes couldn't help but light up. I haven't heard these stories. It's different from the hidden mission you learned. This is another hidden mission. Catherine didn't know what Shuchu was thinking, and continued. The Columbarium corridor is the territory of the Dark Camp, and that priest will recover from her injuries faster than me. Come and storm the city. We can't sit still, so. Catherine looked at Shuchu and smiled lightly. So, I hope that you, who are also believers in light, will go to the Columbarium corridor and check the composition of the undead there. In order to facilitate her to attack the city, I will deal with the village chief. Excuse me, will you help me? After Catherine's words, several options immediately popped up in front of Shuchu's eyes. A. Unwilling, not interested, wait for death, Catherine's good feelings, church prestige. Closing square bracket, opening square bracket. B. It's the Columbarium corridor. Gotta add money, church prestige plus. Opening square bracket. C. Okay, I'll go over there to explore the way, Catherine favor plus, church prestige plus plus. Opening square bracket. D. I do not share the sky with the Dark Camp, Catherine favorite plus plus, church prestige plus plus. P.S. Your options will affect the difficulty of the task. Option A goes without saying. Probably no one would choose this to give up the hidden mission, right? However, tasks that generally have a give up option. It's all hard. Option B is to complete the task by asking for more payment. So you can also gain a little church prestige. But it was clear that Catherine would not be so happy. But she won't say anything. After all, she took the task herself. Option C and option D are about the same. That is, a question of attitude. But the phrase option C made Shuchu think of a damn hero in a certain game. So, I don't share the sky with the dark faction. Shuchu said with great enthusiasm. Explore, no need to probe. It's all zero. I have raised the ashes of the undead that I can see. Hearing this, Catherine's face visibly eased a lot. Thank you, traveler. Open black lens bracket ding. Cardinal Catherine has a plus 100 favorability rating for you, and the current favorability rating is 150. Recognition close black lens bracket. Even the favorability level has been directly upgraded to neutral to recognition. As long as you complete the mission, you will surely get more. Traveler, I will recuperate well, deal with the other party's siege, and leave the matter of exploration to you. Catherine smiled, and the players outside the enchantment gritted their teeth even more. The cold beauty brought a trace of sickness at the moment. Who looks at this and who is not confused? Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations on your successful mission, explore the Columbarium corridor. Ding. Your option is D, and you are evaluating the difficulty of the task. Ding. The difficulty of the quest, explore the Columbarium corridor, is locked at level B. Opening square bracket. Mission objective, go to Columbarium corridor and increase the area exploration level to 5%. Mission difficulty. B. Mission reward, Catherine's favorability, Church of Light reputation. Mission progress 0.00%. Ness. Shuchu is very happy. I didn't do anything in the morning, and I got a B level hidden mission. There are 9 levels of difficulty in the mission. Common mission. FED. Rare quest. CBAA need for quest. The sooner you receive high quality quests in SSSSSS, the faster your player will grow. And if normal players don't have any adventures, they can only receive ordinary level tasks in this life. The novice mission adds up to 4 stages in a row, which is only an F level. You can imagine how hard it is to get a good task. If you want to receive rare missions, you have to please all kinds of top forces, make good relationships, or rely on your own luck. As for the Acura mission above the S class, go to bed early, you have everything in your dreams. Therefore, I was able to receive a B level task the next day after fate. Shuchu felt that it was already a great joy for beautiful women in the sky. But Shuchu felt, I can rejoice even more. Immediately, Shuchu smiled and whispered to Catherine, Miss Catherine, you don't want to delay the defense of the city because of your injury, do you? Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl 30. Online game. My pet can evolve into a beautiful girl. Chapter 30. Traveler, why do you say that? Catherine raised her head and looked at the traveler, who was a head taller than herself. Shu Chu, on the other hand, smiled slightly, took one out of his backpack, and handed it to Catherine. I think I should be able to do more for the Church of Light. Catherine stretched out her hands to take the cloth bag suspiciously. Then when he looked in, his blue-purple pupils shrank suddenly. This is, quote, the cloth bag is stuffed with monster material. This is all material for the monsters around the novice village. Catherine looked at Shu Chu silently. If I'm not mistaken, these travelers must have arrived only yesterday, right? But it's only been one night, right? Unexpectedly, he killed all 4 monsters on the edge of the village. Also killed tenfold. According to records, travelers do not complete their tasks until the 3rd day. At that time, the village chiefs would record the names one by one and report the travelers in front of the line to the church, so that the church could focus on it. But now, don't say that this village chief does not report or not. The village chief of the entire Terra continent has not reported a single name. Talented. Catherine's evaluation of Shu Chu was only 2 words left. Amazing genius. Such a genius cannot be seduced by the Dark Order. Be sure to catch it in the hands of the Church of Light. Single quote. Nope. Be sure to catch it in the hands of the Wind Elf chapter. Under the Dragon Throne of Light are the 4 spirits of wind, fire, water, and earth. Although they are both Church of Light, after all, the branches are different, and there are some secret fights in private. Shu Chu looked at Catherine, who was staring at him without saying a word, and had some doubts in his heart. Why don't you say a word? Card bug. So he reminded loudly, Miss Catherine. Sorry, Dusk, I gaffed. Catherine reacted, and her gaze towards Shu Chu was even more fiery. Open black lens bracket ding. Cardinal Catherine has plus 50 favorability for you, and the current favorability rating is 200. Shu Chu, quote, although I don't know what happened, it was quite a surprise to be able to prostitute Shu Chu to 50 favorability. The favorability of NPCs is called a difficult awe. And Catherine actually called herself ID. If it weren't for Catherine's name, Shu Chu would have forgotten that his game ID was called Dusk. Your strength, I have seen in my eyes, indeed, with your strength is enough to do more things. Catherine bowed her head slightly, took the package, and smiled more kindly. I believe that if there is a greater opportunity, you can also seize it. Shu Chu shook his head modestly. Miss Catherine is over-prestigious. I can't take an opportunity like yours. Of course, you can't hold it. At this moment, Catherine's smile converged, and she replied with a smile. As you said before, my injury will definitely have an impact on the defense of the city. Hearing this, Shu Chu nodded secretly. What Catherine said was indeed the truth. According to the plot development of the previous life, the novice village will trigger the castle defense event on the 3rd to 5th day. At that time, the top elite players already had the qualification to leave the novice village and go to the main city. So most of them are gone. Those who remain are casual players, resulting in the novice village not being so easy to defend. And if the player participates in the defense of the city, if the city is not held, it will drop the level. Drop the attribute. This results in fewer players wanting to guard the new village. Even some novice villages will die because their defensive ability is too weak. The beginning of the Light faction players is like this, Shu Chu sighed helplessly in his heart. But if I can recover quickly, I can hold the village and save more people. Catherine continued. At dusk, there is a special plant called Mandela flower in the columbarium which grows in places where dead chi accumulates and is born with the ability to purify dead chi. This herb can restore my injuries, please collect more. Hearing this, Shu Chu understood. Isn't it just collecting materials? I'm so good at this kind of thing. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations on your successful quest, collect Mandela flowers. Ding. The difficulty of the quest for Explore the Columbarium Corridor is F, and the mission reward can be increased according to the number of Mandela flowers collected in the end. Opening square bracket. Mission objective: go to Columbarium Corridor and collect Mandela flowers. Mission difficulty F. Mission reward: Catherine's favorability, Church of Light reputation. Mission progress: sad face 0 infinity. Ness. A mission that can be started at any time, stopped at any time, and has a high degree of freedom. And mission rewards can be upgraded. This is a private commission for me. Catherine smiled lightly and said. The wind elf branch in the Church of Light will never skimp on being generous to its friends. Hearing Catherine reread the word wind, Shu-Chu couldn't help but smile. How do you emphasize your own power? But the next moment, Shu-Chu saw Catherine clasping her hands into fists and closing her eyes. It seems to be praying. Open black lens bracket ding. Cardinal Catherine blessed you with holy light blessings. Opening square bracket. Holy light blessing. Effect. You and your summons can regenerate an additional 10 health points per second. Hiss. Automatic blood return buff. This is the most precious gift for summoners. Although she has priestesses, she has cooling, and she can only be single. It's quite blue every time. Now there is holy light blessing. The survival pressure of your own team is more than a little less. The columbarium corridor is lifeless. I hope the blessing of the God of Light can help you. Catherine withdrew her hand and said with a light smile. Shu-Chu was extremely satisfied. Thank you, God of Light. These blessings have helped a lot, and the task of collecting Mandela flowers will be left to me. Catherine saluted. Trouble you, Traveler's Twilight. ... Well, familiar place. Saying goodbye to Catherine, Shu-Chu came to the columbarium corridor under the eyes of countless people and kindness. It took more than 2 hours to climb over the village's north mountain, and Shu-Chu's eyes suddenly brightened. A huge canyon appeared that was gray and white and could not be seen at a glance. The columbarium corridor, that stretches for several kilometers, is canyon terrain, only flatter. Not A, V, but A, U. On the gray-white ground, there are all kinds of skeleton monsters. It's like a battlefield, and the smell of corpses is everywhere. And all the time there are ashes like snow. It's worthy of being the territory of the dark camp. This smell is too right. Shu-Chu looked at the newly added environmental state above his head. Toxic haze. Effect. 1 health point is deducted every second. For players in the light camp, the environment here is toxic. Even if you don't do anything, you will be poisoned alive. Fortunately, there is holy light blessing, and this toxicity will not affect me in the slightest. With a slight smile, Shu-Chu raised his hand and made a move. There were 20 lights around him, one after another. 16 skeleton wolf and 4 juvenile dragon lizard followed. Let's start exploring.